This lesson is on surface area of cylinders and spheres. So they're two sort of unique shapes that we look at in this course. And the learning goal is to understand the surface area of cylinders. This is really critical. That will be the next slide. And spheres, and use it to solve surface area problems. Okay. So the first thing we're going to look at is the formula sheet here. Now, hopefully you've seen this formula sheet. This is just a screenshot from it. And I've just highlighted that this is the surface area of a cylinder. Okay. Now let me explain how it works. This is a cylinder here. All right. I'm just going to take that highlighter off. And if we open it up, like cut it out, it ends up being two circles. All right. And what's the area of a circle? Area of a circle is pi r squared. And how many circles are there? There's two. And that's actually this part here. All right. So that you can say it's two circles. It's really important. Okay. Now this part down here is the second part. Now this is a rectangle, and a rectangle is base times height. The base of this rectangle is 2 pi r, and that's because this is exactly the same as this, all right? Because if you imagine, this bit has to roll around and fit on it to make a can, just like here. Can you see that bit there? So I've just explained it, which is 2 pi r is the circumference of the circle, or the outside of the circle. Okay? And then height is just height, so it's just base times height. So that's what this bit over here is. It's the rectangle so it's this bit in here, right? It's that rectangle part of it. Now it's really important that we understand this because there will be some questions. We're going to look at some questions that go to this understanding. So make sure you draw stuff and you understand what's going on. I would draw what I've drawn up here easily, and then write surface area is equal to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, and make it known that this is the circles and this is the body of it. All right, let's move to the examples. All right, so we have a closed cylinder. So closed cylinder means that there's a lid on the top and there's a lid on the bottom. And it just says find the surface area, or SA as an acronym. So let's get on and do it. The first thing we need to do is put our formula in. So grab it from the formula sheet and put it in. So I'm going to go SA equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. All right, so it's got a really good flow to it. Now, what's the radius of this cylinder? Well, radius, remember, is always from the middle to the edge, and we have this length that's from edge to edge. So the radius will equal 6 meters, all right? I probably need to highlight that to make it known. All right, so the radius equals 6 meters. So we're going to substitute that into that. There's one more thing that we have to substitute, and that's the height, but that's just 15 here. So I'm just going to move this a bit across here. So all I'm going to do is substitute in. Remember, what's in between all these things? It's times. So there's a lot of green there. I'm going to show it here. 2 times pi is just a number, times, what's our radius? 6. So always use brackets. Squared plus 2 times pi times, what's our radius? 6. Times our height, which is 15, just from here. Okay, so now I think I need to move that up because otherwise it's going to affect the next question. So let's move it up there. That'll be good. Okay, and now simply we can just put it into our calculator. So I'm going to type that into my calculator. 2 times pi times 6 squared. So I'm going to put the 6 in the brackets, squared, plus 2 times pi times our radius is 6 and our height is 15. Now I'm going to put my answer in. So the surface area equals 791.681347. Now this question hasn't told us how many decimal places we're going to put it in, but I'm going to put it into 2 decimal places, and I'm actually going to write it down to here. Therefore, surface area equals, and I'm looking here. All right, now this number is it 5 or less? Yes, so nothing's going to change with that. All right, so let's go 791.68. Now remember, this is still area, so it's still square area, so it's going to be meters squared. All right, so really important that we do that. The area is square area. Okay, the next example is, let's find the surface area of the glass. Now this is interesting. The reason I put this in is that it has a surface at the bottom, but it's actually empty at the top. Now what this why I put this in, it goes to the understanding of how this formula works. Now I know, and you know, that these are 2 circles. But in this case, we want to find the surface area. We're not going to look inside the glass, so just ignore that. We're looking at outside the glass only. So if it's 2 circles, I have to get rid of one of these because there's only 1 circle at the bottom. This is empty at the top. So another way we call this is open cylinder. See how this closed cylinder? Okay. All right, let's work it in. So surface area equals 2 times pi times, what's our radius? We don't have to halve anything because it's already as a radius, so it's just times 5. Bracket squared, always use brackets. 2 times pi, which is just a number, times our radius is 5, and our height in this case is 10. So we're just going to put 10. And I'm just going to pop it into my calculator. Surface area equals, so let's go, 2 times pi times 5 squared plus 2 times pi times 5 times 10. And we get 471.238898, and obviously it keeps going. I'm going to put it to 2 decimal places as well. So therefore, surface area is equal to 471. That's a really dodgy 7, so I'm going to get rid of it. 471 point. Now remember, if I'm rounding to 2 decimal places, ooh, that's 5 or higher, so that will become 4. So 2, 4. Our units are centimeters. And yes, it is square area, so we need to put that in. All right, so it should be pretty straightforward. So just be aware of the open cylinder and closed cylinder like we have seen here. All right, next one. So find the surface area of the ball. Now this is actually quite simple because we can just go to our formula sheet and it's here. Now there's a lot of formulas and you're going to go, which one is the sphere? Remember, if we're finding surface area of the sphere, look for area, and another little hint is squared. All right, so have a look at that. So I'm just going to translate that back in. So area equals 4 pi r squared. Remember, area is square area. This goes, find the surface area of the ball given the professional men's ball is 24 point, the radius is 24, so let's probably put that information. It's really important information. So radius equals 24.2 centimeters. Now simply just put it into my formula. Surface area equals 4 times pi is just a number. What's our radius? Always use the brackets. I'm going to go squared. Now it's just calculator work. So I'm going to go 4 times pi times, using my brackets, 24.2 squared. I'm going to press equals. And I get 7,359.36987, and obviously it's going to keep going. Let's do it to 2 decimal places like we've been doing with all the rest. Our units are centimeters, and the critical, where we put it there, oh, that's 5 or higher, so that will change to a 7. So therefore, surface area equals 7,359.37. Our units are centimetres, and yes, we still are in square area business. All right, that's it. Peace out.